Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lisa from Own the Day Planner. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my DIY fold-out trackers for my A5 planner. So if you want to see the easiest way you can imagine to make these, then just keep watching. Okay guys, so here we are inside of Canva at canva.com. I simply designed an 8.5 by 11 in landscape mode, just kind of put in the data that I wanted to track with regards to my video production schedule for YouTube. So this is just an example. I put a title, a little icon. I have these little symbols or checklist for filming, editing, thumbnail, and publishing my video, and then RD stands for release date. So I put in my data, and this is basically what I want to track. And I did this double-sided so that when it's folded, no matter which way you're flipping the tracker, you simply see what it's tracking. So very, very simple there. 8.5 by 11 document, blank, and now you see me just naming the document so that I can save it. And then you're just going to want to download it to your computer. In this case, I'm downloading it into a PDF so that I can print it out and download. It'll take about a second, and then it'll be downloaded to your computer wherever you told it to download. Typically, it goes into my downloads on my desktop computer. Then it opens up in Adobe in my case, and all I need to do is go ahead and print. I put a simple piece of white 8.5 by 11 cardstock in my printer. I made sure to select print on both sides, flip on the long edge because it's double-sided and we're going to be folding this, and then print. Okay, so once you have your piece of cardstock printed out, you can see it's on both sides. It's so simple. What you're going to do is just simply fold it in half like this. I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder just to get a nice crease. You don't have to do that. You can use anything really to do this. Your ruler, a thick eraser, the edge of a pair of scissors. In any case, so then you just have it folded like that in half. And then what's important for me anyway, in terms of how I like to use these, and I'll show you that in a minute, is the placement of the holes. So what you want to do is you want to preserve the actual folded edge. That's not where you're going to punch your holes. You're going to punch your holes on the right side here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Carpe Diem A5 hole punch. I actually did a review of this recently. It is fantastic. I am in love with this hole punch. It is so easy breezy. If you want to see my review on that, I'll link up a card up above in just a sec so you can check that out. So all you're going to do is simply take the open edge, which is what you're going to punch, not the folded edge. Stick it in your hole punch, or of course you can do this manually just by tracing the holes where they need to go and then using a single hole punch. For the sake of ease, I'm just going to use this. So my holes are punched for A5, and the only other step that I would really recommend, and this is of course for it to be easy as a fold-out tracker, is to go ahead and cut the slits. Now, the way that I cut the slits, I've done this either of two ways. You can just go in and cut straight like that with a little pair of scissors, but I kind of like to cut it on a bit of an angle, which I think is often called the keyhole type of cut. So if you see, it just kind of looks like a keyhole. So you're just kind of going in at a slight angle and making two cuts instead of one. Really doesn't take that much longer, but I just feel that it makes it so much easier to pull out and to open. Okay, so now that that's done, I am going to show you how you simply put it into your planner. This is my A5 Carpe Diem in Clover. I'm actually in the process of setting this up, so I will be doing a flip through very soon for my June setup, which is the first month that I'm officially going to be using this. So you have your holes punched in, and this is what allows it to just kind of pop in like that. Now the beauty of these fold outs, like I said, is that they're so easy to just open and consult your work. So all you really got to do is pull out one end. So for example, if you wanted to work on filling out this side, you would just grab your pen or pencil and you'd be working on this side. But if I wanted to work perhaps more on the check side, if I had this closed, another easy way to do it, this is what's the beauty of these, is that you can open it from the other side as well. It opens on both sides, and now I'm right-handed, so of course I can work now on the checklist and filling in release dates and things like that. Another thing that I really love about these trackers, despite the fact, and I would say maybe because of the fact that I've kept it easy by just going with an 8.5 by 11 and folding in half, that gives it a half sheet as opposed to a true A5 size. But what I love about these is the fact that you can use these for multiple things. Like you see here, I use one for my social media planning as well. I'll show you that in a second. But I tend to plan things out in advance. So for example, the one that I have here, if I open up, you can see I just stamped it June. And so I have a list of all the videos I plan on releasing in June, and then of course the checklist here. But for example, if I were planning in advance, for example, June, and then wanted to have this as July, I can see 2 months at a glance. I mean, look at the space saving. This is what I find amazing and that I love about fold out trackers. And they're all DIY. You can literally do this yourself for anything. So I have this huge view, and if I just zoom out for a second to show you, I mean, look at this gigantic view. I have literally 2 full months worth of data that I can look at. If you imagine that maybe this was a health tracker, maybe this was anything, your home cleaning, you can make these for just about anything, and then you just snap them back in place. Another thing that I love, of course, and if you're clever about how you put together your planner, let's say you were a YouTuber, for example, like me, and you are planning out your month of videos. Let's assume this is a particular month, and here's my social media. So when I open up my social media, I can now very easily consult the videos that I want coming out and then start plugging in where I want to do social media planning. Same thing goes for anything else you might want to track. In my case, I have one of these made the exact same way in Canva, printed out. I have one for my podcast. So for example, podcast episodes that are going to be coming out, I have a similar checklist, although the initials here are for different things. For example, record, edit, social media posts, and then is it schedule? That's the S. But you can do these for really anything, and they're so great because you can move them around. And if you wanted to actually move this around completely, you can literally just pull it out like that or snap it back in. So they can really go anywhere in your planner. You can use them functionally, and they're just so easy to make. And if you don't have cardstock and you're not planning on using it longer than a month, you can just print it out on regular copy paper, regular printer paper. I chose to do just regular white cardstock simply because I consult these a lot, and I figured they'd be a little bit more durable for about 30 to 60 days at a time, especially if, like in the example that I gave you, I'm looking to open it up and work from 2 months of data at a time. So there you have it. Easy peasy DIY fold out trackers for your A5 planner. So if you liked this video and you found it helpful, please go ahead and give this a nice thumbs up and consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell and turn it from red to gray so that you can be notified anytime I upload a brand new video. I come out with at least 2 new videos a week, so I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next adventure. Bye for now.